that she forgot to mention that she did get a job from 50 Cent, who don't like none of them people she named.
Yeah.
He paid you, gave you work, and you ain't even shout out. 7 million people could have wanted to see BMF. You know what I mean? So why you ain't shout out?
Shout out to my brother, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. Because I'm going to be in it. He called me, Shannon. That brother called me, and he said, sister, I got you. And that was that. I'm in BMF because my brother 50 Curtis Cent Jackson said I'm going to lend you a helping hand.
Wow.
Talking about Monique, D.L. Hughley has responded to what Monique said about him on the Club Shay Shay podcast. Let's take a listen.
It's almost like Wendy Williams didn't go anywhere. She just got a weight set.
He said it's almost like Wendy Williams didn't go nowhere. She got a weight set. He talking about Shannon Sharp.
Oh.
Wendy Williams lifting weights. That's all he is.
Gossip.
Yep. That's a shot like a motherfucker. Let's go.
So Monique was on. Every time I see Monique these days, she's on doing some greasy ass video with her and her daddy complaining about something or working out. I don't know nobody that work out that much and gain weight unless every crunch you do got Captain in front of it. But apparently she goes on Club Shay Shay and tells the story about how she came on my radio show and I wasn't there at the time. And my co-host Jasmine Sanders played a game that we played all the time with everybody called Would You Rather. She apparently was so offended by that she said she got off. She called me. Monique did, and she said I was very dismissive, like, Monique's a liar. When Monique did call me, I heard her complaints, I listened to her, and I pulled the segment. So if I had been as dismissive as she alleges I was, that segment would have aired. It didn't, because I respected her wishes. She's a liar. It's also befuddles the shit out of me how somebody who, as a comedian, talks as much shit about everybody else as she does. She has the temerity to be offended about anything as much shit as you say about people. Then she encouraged everybody, allegedly it stems from the fact that I used to always talk shit about her on video after video, and she encouraged her sweet babies to look at the video and find them. Do that. Do exactly what she says. And you know what you're not going to find? You're not going to find any evidence of that because Monique is a fucking liar. She's lying about that. But what you will find is Monique talking shit about some alleged contract dispute we had. Look at the ticket. It says D.L. Hughley, then Monique. She knows the story. But what she did in response to that, she talked about my dog, my wife. This broad even brought out my daughter's personal trauma. My daughter was molested and Monique bought that shit out and told the world that I allowed my daughter to be in front of me. The lying motherfucker. She knows she was lying. And it only stopped when everybody from my family checked her. It's interesting. You know what else you won't see Monique doing? You won't ever see her with her family, videos with her children or grandchildren, because nobody fucks with me. How do you have sweet babies when your own babies don't fuck with you? How do you love us for real when there's no evidence of anybody loving you for real, except your daddy, who you apparently have to pay? And FYI, daughters are paid for by daddies, not daddies who get paid by their daughters. You know what else you won't see Monique doing? Telling jokes. Monique, if she'd have spent as much time actually writing jokes and writing her Netflix special as she did complaining about not having one, it wouldn't have been trash. It got the worst reviews of any Netflix special in history. Because that's what Monique does. She complains and she has grievances. You never see her being a human being. You never see her being sweet and warm to people. Except when she's using it to butter somebody up to get something. There's a reason why everywhere she goes, shit starts. Everywhere she goes. How is it that nobody fucks with you? Not even your family. How do you... Well, I was on the road getting it. I get it every goddamn week. Look at my schedule versus yours. See how much I'm going. And I still manage to have a relationship that I cherish with my children. Can you say the same? You can't. Because all you do is talk about your grievances and who did you wrong. There's a reason you're by yourself. There's a reason you got to pay a man to love you.
Damn.
It's sad. There's an old adage that says you can't buy love. It's a shame, Monique, that you probably always will have to.
Damn. Woo. Very strong stuff, bro.
That was deep.
That was very
That was
strong
some
stuff,
deep.
bro. Hearing that, what's coming to your mind?
I think it's insane. I think it's crazy, but I feel like people like that know other people. They see the bullshit, and that's like I was saying, people bullshit. I felt like the same as he was saying. A lot. If he's saying a lot of people don't fuck with her, a lot of people don't fuck with her.
Why?
That's a problem. They don't fuck
with her.
The
reason why people don't mess with her are the people who did her dirty and blackballed her, like Tyler Perry.
Do you think it did her dirty, or like he said, her attitude, the way she looked, the way she be saying to people?
What was the attitude? What was the attitude that got her blackballed? She said, "I'm not working for free." That's all it takes is a black woman to say, "I don't want to work for free," and then you're hard to deal with. Tyler Perry admitted and lied that he did her wrong, and then blackballed her. That's what DL is getting his weapons from, and we already know that for a fact. That Tyler Perry's a freaking liar. He blackballed her, and that's where this fool is trying to talk about. That's not everybody.
You don't think that he's talking about before all that shit? You think he's talking about now? About you think he's not talking about the shit that he did
after
with
her
before all
Precious
that.
was
before
in like 2009 or some shit. It was 20 years ago. So yeah, way back then, yeah.
You don't think he's not talking about his dealings with her and other people's telling their dealings with her?
Monique says some things about him and his daughter.
That's fucked up right there. Like, you know, that's some fucked up
because
shit,
what was true is that his daughter was being touched by, I believe, his best friend or a relative, and he knew about it. Not knew about it.
He just clearly said he didn't know shit about anything like that. He
defended the person that was doing that to his daughter. Didn't believe it was happening. Then he found out it was happening. Then he put a stop to it.
Oh, shit.
Allegedly. And Monique outed that. She shouldn't have talked about that. But at the same time,
he should have let
trash
that
daddy,
my
nigga.
Yeah.
You were a trash daddy for letting that happen, right?
Well too.
Exactly.
That's weak as fuck too.
So let that be known. Also, besides what we talked about with the Monique stuff, how else did you feel about what DL said?
I felt like he had a lot of bitterness with her as well. You know, there's a lot of hate towards that. And it's kind of like when you're talking about somebody, even though you break it down, you can't break down and bring hate from hate. It doesn't work that way. It's more toxic from more toxic energy. I don't think it works in that angle. The shit that he was saying was a little bit off as well, but you can see that he had a lot of anger towards her. And
who do you believe? Who do you think is telling the most truth between Monique and DL?
To be honest, it was hard to believe on what. Like, I want to go by some things that she was saying, and I also want to go by simple. So it's kind of difficult for me to actually say, "Oh, it was him. He's telling the truth."
So they're both full of shit.
On some angles, yes.
Okay, so neither one of these people have. You trust neither one of them. So it's basically a coin toss there.
Yes.
All right. What do you think, Sad?
Having more knowledge, having seen the full interview, there's two things that happen. I don't know how much time passed between DL not believing it was true and believing it was true. Because in his own interview, I heard his words where he was like, when I first heard my best friend was whatever he was doing to my daughter, I couldn't believe it. I didn't believe it. Mm-hmm. And then when I realized it was true, so that could have been 1 minute, like, get the freak out of here. It doesn't mean like months passed or weeks passed. It could have been like, damn, I thought you was my man. You know what I'm saying? So it could have been the shock of him saying he didn't believe it. But what triggered Monique to talk about it is that with Monique, this went on for years and nobody believed her. Mm-hmm. So hearing that made her see him as a villain anyway. That made her not be able to stand his ass. Because if mother freakers burned me as a child, every time y'all barbecuing, I'm going to get a little jittery because...
Right. Can I ask you a question? If your daughter comes to you and says that your best friend touched her, why would you not believe her instantly?
It's a lot of history in the black family of people not wanting to disrupt their lives because it blows the whole dynamic up. Right. You know what I'm saying? I missed the question. If you could repeat it again, because I have history in my family with different things going on like that.
If your best friend, if your daughter comes to you, say, "Dad, I gotta tell you something. Trevor touched me. He came in my bed and he's your best friend." What's your instant? What would you do? What would you do? Would you doubt her?
No, but the what comes out your mouth is not John. Are you kidding me? No, he did. That's when he
not
says
John is not saying I don't believe.
Right.
Not being shocked. You have every right to be
So
shocked.
I think
What are you talking about? Huh?
Happened.
What? Not denying it. He said he didn't believe it.
I've heard about women
lying,
staying with the stepdad. Like, get your little fast ass upstairs. You ain't messing this up for me.
Yeah.
And that's the situations.
I was talking to this girl, bro. It seems like all my ex-girlfriends I've ever dealt with has been touched by their relative. In the black community, it's very common. It's very common. Our little black girls are being touched by the family members, and we're trash for that. I was talking to this girl. She told me she's effed up. She told me I'm effed up. I'm effed up in the head. She's addicted to sex. She didn't want to have sex with me because she didn't want... She asked me to marry her, my nigga.
Fuck.
She asked me to marry her before I even had sex with her. I never had sex with her after we had this conversation because we was moving a little too fast. She wanted to trip, date, move in. What? I want to see what's up with the goods first. But then at a point we had conversations.
You want a little test drive before you sign a lease on the car?
I have questions and I want to ask questions.
Right.
I wanted to know what's and we got deep into her past. She said my dad. She said I was fast. You know, I was talking to the neighbor and my dad saw it, and then he came and I was in the kitchen. He said, "You out here being a freaking hoe. You being all fast." Told her to go upstairs. Came in the room. He said, "I'm gonna show you what fast is." Smashed his own daughter.
Fuck.
I'm gonna show you what fast is. All you want to see? I'm gonna show you what's up. Her dad, her biological father.
Horrible.
She said she was around 11 years old. Nigga, what would that do to somebody?
Bro, I know.
And that story, similar stories is all over the neighborhood, bro. Yeah. And we wonder why we're all effed up.
Yeah.
From jump.
So part of this problem, it does stem from slavery. You know what I mean? You not being able to, the master being able to take your woman and sleep with her anytime he wants, then just give her back to you, and you supposed to accept it, and it psychologically messed up the woman, messed up the man, and of age he could take your daughter. So a lot of people whose parents are alcoholics become alcoholics. Genetics can throw you so far off that right and wrong is like, well, a lot of people, when it's done to them, hate it and then ended up doing it to somebody else. So these horrible things get passed down from generation to generation. I guarantee you her dad probably had that done to him by either a man or a woman.
And he's still in her life.
Fuck. Are you serious?
She still sees him.
So she don't even know how to forgive that and love around that.
She knows she's effed up. I'm effed up. That's she basically. That's why I have sex with men. That's why I'm addicted to sex. She got 3 kids. 3? She got 4 now. She had 4 kids, 4 different baby daddies.
Damn.
And my mom never let me go to sleepovers. Sleepovers is whack, man.
That's out. Don't let kids sleep over nobody's. Don't let your... Bro, I don't do daycares either. I don't do daycares. None of my children have ever seen a daycare. I know everybody can't do it. But, bro, if you can make it happen, make it happen. None of my children has ever been inside and spent a day in daycare, bro. It's bad, bro. But with DL Hughley, man, do you think that this man is right?
He's funnier than her.
That's facts.
So he can cut deeper. Like, he hit hard. This is a mic drop moment for DL. He did not have this energy for Cat 2 weeks ago.
Of course not.
He couldn't come at Cat like that.
No way.
Nobody has really come back at Cat. Now, it's turning into hip hop because I say they get on stage and go joke for joke. Monique can't hang with DL, but DL's not that funny anyway.
Nope.
However, he's funnier than her.
That's facts.
And he's clearly motivated by a different anger because that's his daughter. The angst he feels towards his best friend, the angst he feels towards Monique, and the angst he feels towards Cat was all building up. He was just waiting to knock somebody out.
He's being a little bit sly here because Monique was talking about the contract on the bill. He showed up late. She had the headline the thing. You know what I'm saying? He says the ticket. If you look at the ticket, the contract and the ticket, two different things. Call sheet. It's all different. The contract says what it says. Show that contract deal. He using little trigger words to try to
and she'll
throw
pull
us
out
off.
the contract.
Of course she would.
What the worst part is, these comedians aren't the sexy reds. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This ain't the rush. What's her name with the good Sukis and all of them? This is supposed to be a little bit more higher class. A little bit, they wear suits on stage, a little bit more sophisticated. Mm-hmm. And Kat just aired out everybody. And, they airing out Tyler Perry. And DraftKings is getting all the money from people betting and gambling. They're still just selling liquor. At the end of the day, Shannon Sharpe is sponsored by his cognac and gambling. So they still getting back people to get drunk and gamble their money away.
What side are you taking, Sad? Monique is being more honest, DL's being more honest, or Monique is being more honest?
I'm very mad at Monique for not mentioning BMF is about to drop March 1st. 50 is the one that came and saved her and gave her a job.
She didn't say nothing about it.
She hired 50, put his neck on the line, and she was so busy talking about Kevin Hart loaning her money and her paying him back that she forgot to mention that she did get a job from 50 Cent, who don't like none of them people she named. Yeah. He paid you, gave you work, and you ain't even shout out. 7 million people could have wanted to see BMF. Yep. You know what I mean? So why you ain't shout out?
Shout out to my brother, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. Because I'm going to be in it. He called me, Shannon. That brother called me. And he said, sister, I got you. And that was that. I'm in BMF because my brother 50 Curtis Cent Jackson said, I'm going to lend you a helping hand. And that brother took care of me. Shannon. That's a real one right there.
That's what she should have said.
Shout out to the clone.
And it'll be on Stars. Stars cut the check. 50 G-Unit Films cut the check. Shout them out. Talk about the good stuff that's going on during the middle of Black History Month.
Give the credit where credit's due, man.
Just don't drag everybody. Yeah. And you got enough money to bring some. I know it's a girl in Baltimore wishing she was you. It ain't always got to be you, Monique. Mm-hmm. You could have groomed some 10 young ladies and went on the road with them and bigged them up and managed them. If your husband's such a great manager, y'all could manage them and get them on. It ain't always. You had your time from the Parkers, from the Boy Is Not Mine till now. So where's the 20-something-year-old new Monique in Baltimore that ain't got the blacklisted that you could get some work for? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where's the independent director? You know what I mean?
Well, maybe she's doing it. Maybe she will do it. I don't know. We don't know. You know, she's out there now.
You getting Jonathan Majors some work? Because he at the beginning of the stage where you was 10 years ago. Who's hiring him? Are you shouting him out?
I think it had to be really hard for her these last 6-7 years.
Horrible.
While fighting against Netflix and being blackballed. I know her money was down, money was low, times was hard, people struggling. When she got that Netflix check, I know she paid bills off and she probably went away, vacationed, had some good old fun time. Now she's here, she's out, and now we're going to see some roles and we're going to see what she does.
We'll see.
And let's see what happens for there. Thank you guys so very much for watching Jody's Corner. You know what time it is.